Hello, and welcome to the place on the internet I talk about comic books. I've been gone for a minute. The beard might indicate I've been sick. When I am sick, I tend not to shave, and this is the outcome. So I apologize to everybody, really. I just wanted to talk very briefly about a thing I see going on the internet today, which is comic book creator, often cover artist Jen Bartel, pointed out that she was not getting any type of residuals on work of hers from Marvel that has been reused for, various things, right? I haven't followed it closely enough to see if she originally did concept art or cover art or whatever, and it's being repurposed. But the point is that she's right. She's absolutely correct in the respect that she would have made a great deal more money if her work, which has been repackaged or repurposed by Marvel, netted her any ongoing income. She's correct in that. I see a lot of people slamming her for, hey, you signed a contract, and you should have known the terms, and you got to live with it. And is it if I build a house for somebody, do I get to charge them every year for them live? It's a little esoteric to people who aren't artists, and going the other way, I think that there's a lot of artists, or maybe aspiring artists or would-be artists, who are jumping out to defend Jen Bartel and say, yeah, these companies are crooked, and how terrible. How terrible really doesn't do anything for anybody. I just want to point this out. I understand it's an instinct, but look, I think we're at the stage of online discourse and conversation with each other that saying, I'm so sorry that happened to you, is the new thoughts and prayers. It doesn't actually do anything. It's empty sentiment. We don't need any of that. Let's have an actual conversation about what it is to do work for hire work, what you should be entitled to, and what you currently are. Now, I didn't read every response from Jen Bartel, but I think I got the gist of the whole thing. And, again, she is right that she would make a lot more money. And the question, I think, then becomes, is that something that is that right, I guess, is question one. Just because we want to see somebody win doesn't mean that the thing that they're suggesting is correct or the right pathway forward. And we should be clear, just for this recording, that of course we want to see an artist win, So want Jen Bartel to succeed and have money, and I don't want to take anything away from her in that, but let's just look at it with clear eyes, right? I personally, just revealing my sympathies or lack thereof, I don't feel a deep obligation to work for these companies, Marvel, DC, etc., the ones that are really work for hire exclusively. I'll work for companies with a shared ownership and shared profit as a result, or I'll work with Image, where I own everything, right, with my creative partners. But I guess the part of Jen's argument that I don't connect with is that these companies are predatory, Marvel, DC, because what alternative do you have? You don't, if you don't sign this contract, you don't work. That part is true. And individual artists, unless they are at the very highest level, have no bargaining power whatsoever, no leverage. And frankly, even at the highest level, you're not getting... You can get ownership. You can get... it's not ownership. You can get residuals for character usage and things like that. But really, when they own your art, they own your art. If your comics are reprinted, they will send you something. There is a royalty system of a sort, but it's not to anybody's liking, right? Like if when your books are recollected, You will get money. There are guys who, I wouldn't say they're living off of it, but they're building their garages or whatever off of the money that comes in off of repackaged, from single issues to trade to hardcover. They are all everybody that works at the Marvel and DC are getting something for those repackaged efforts. So, but as far as them reusing your art, you're not getting anything that is going to be worthwhile for you or your family. So, so now what I'm about to say isn't specific to Jen What I'm about to say isn't specific to Jen Bartel. In fact, let's please remove her from the conversation for a second. In these conversations about creator ownership, creator rights, what is fair, we always operate under the presumption that we have to change Marvel and DC. We have to change these companies. We have to make them more equitable, and that's what's right. Can I offer that we don't actually have to do that at all? All the effort, all the anguish that would go into changing those giant machines could be, all that could be allocated to creating something yourself. I don't even really know if it's a noble pursuit to try to change these companies. These companies are immutable so far as the individual is concerned. Perhaps market forces will change these things, but you are powerless. And you could be sad about that, but there's really no reason to be sad about that. You can exist outside of these things. You can never have any contact with them at all if you don't want. And I think the more that we divorce ourselves from this one pathway, this is the only way to win in the arts, is to attach yourself to a megacorporation, suck on that tit until it goes dry, and then hope to God that you've created enough fans to have a parachute. That's backwards. It's backwards. You take those corporate gigs if you're free and the offer is right. You don't take it because that's all that's under the sun, because it's decidedly not. There's so many other ways to suffer, okay? And this is me being very frank with you. Creator-owned is entrepreneurial, which is to say a hassle on every level. And you may not be game for that hassle, and I don't blame you. But you're going to put all this work into changing the machinery of megacorporations, multinationals, right? If you're gonna tilt at windmills, if you're gonna angrily throw stones at the sun, do it for something you own. You know what I mean? Just do it for something that belongs to you at the end of the day, something that you are going to be able to steer its path in perpetuity, not something that might acquiesce only because of market forces, but might acquiesce, but is actively looking for a way to circumvent that in the future, to go back to the thing that fucked you. I don't understand, honestly, why we want all of or not even want, can only see our business relationships as these friction-laden, contentious things where we're always looking at the other guy as if he's trying to fuck us. I don't look at my partners in comics that way. In fact, my partners on my image books are my literal partners, my creative partners, and then we are in partnership with Image. I don't look at a single strand of that very short group of human beings as my enemy. I'm not trying to negotiate against them. I'm trying to work in concert with them so that we can all make money. And I guess this is all to say, yeah, maybe it's obvious, hey, go do your own thing, whatever. I'm not trying to dismiss Jen Bartel's concerns. I'm not trying to wave them away and say, should have done create her own. She's done create her own. I'm just saying that broadly, we need to get away from this idea that there's only one way to win, and that way to win is to supplicate ourselves to giant corporations who we never feel good about the outcome. Ed Brubaker was really dissatisfied with, I guess, the way the Winter Soldier made all this money, and he didn't see what he felt entitled to. So he walked and did his own thing. You live and you learn, you know what I mean? Instead of grinding yourself into nothing, fighting these pillars, these stone things that won't change for us, just go around them. You know what I mean? Just don't fuck with them anymore. It's fine. Or you fuck with them when they have the money and you like the terms enough. You had an idea. Dr. Fate works an ice cream truck. You know what I mean? You had something you wanted to do. And then you go and you do your thing. Again, I'm not talking about Jen Bartel. It seems like she is doing her thing. I'm just saying, I see a lot of people in the replies who are trapped people. And I don't think you need to be trapped in comics in 2024. I think you can do your thing. It's a struggle. You're going to have to put in a lot of work. It's going to take a long time. Can I just talk about that? It's going to take a long time. You are going to have moments where you are fucking broke. You're going to have moments where you have to work another job. And it's all in service of getting to this place. That's what a business is. You know what I mean? And you are a business, unfortunately. And if you say, I don't want to be a business, I want to be an artist, I'm right there with you. However, you are 100% a business when you deal with Marvel and DC. You're just the little fish that's getting fucked. You're just the business that has no leverage. You're the business that's up for acquisition is what you are. So I just, to the people in the replies who support Jen, that's cool, whatever. But if you are charting a path and you're looking at what Jen's saying, instead of saying to yourself, man, that's terrible. When I deal with Marvel and DC, I really hope it's different. Instead of saying that, just don't deal with them. If that's not equitable to you, if it doesn't seem right, you don't have to bend over. That's the message. Don't bend over. That's just the fucking thing, okay? I guess you've been warned. Forewarned is forearmed. You've been warned from Kirby on, and now you are seeing it from somebody that you respect. Jen is very contemporaneous. Like she works in the now. It is not an old story. You can go by what she says and take it seriously and say, oh, that could be me. I'm trying to come up now. That could be me. And just divorce yourself from the things that she's, in very plain English, saying doesn't work. But don't throw, you're throwing rocks at the sun. Nothing's changing. The weather's not changing for you. Go somewhere where the weather works for you. Get a tan. Have a virgin daiquiri. And stop. I don't even know why you'd want to change these entities. They don't belong to us. They belong to shareholders. There's nothing for you to take on to yourself. Do your thing. Do your own thing. Do your own thing.